Hey everybody, welcome to Geekoholics Anonymous episode 70. My name is Rico. I'm here with my co-host,
Dane Cody.
We get together every week, talk about video games, TV, movies, games, and or whatever the hell we like. Dane, how you doing, buddy?
Tired, but good.
Nice.
Long day. Today kicked my ass. But but it's good.
Today was pretty, I wouldn't say it was rough, but I've been training new hire the last couple weeks, and he's actually very experienced. So it's been a really easy 2 weeks, and today I was just like thrown back in the fold. It was like, oh, man, that was so nice.
Cannot say that my day was anything like that.
Well, that was my last 2 weeks. Today was a normal day.
Ah, gotcha.
I was fixing shit and dealing with BS, but
today was the big project sort of in the midst of, so I was on site early and all there all day making sure shit went right. So long day, but it was a good day. So
nice.
Yeah.
This week is probably going to be a little light on the news. Not a lot going down.
The lead up to Gamescom.
Yeah,
the calm before that storm.
It's next week, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically starts a week from today. So hopefully I think it's Media Day the 17th. So I think by the time we record next week, we'll definitely have some Gamescom news announcements. I don't know. I'm not expecting anything too new or major there, I don't think.
I mean, Microsoft last year held off on a bunch of stuff from E3 so that they could announce it at Gamescom.
Yeah, they wanted to have a press conference, but they don't have one.
No, they didn't. They decided not to do that this year?
I don't think they have one this year.
Huh.
I could be wrong. And Sony doesn't have anything.
Right.
They might wait till Paris Games Week again like they did last year. That seems to be their Europe news party.
Yeah, seems to be. So either way, I've been getting emails from people saying like,
yeah,
hey,
I've seen tons of emails at Gamescom. Hey, we're
booking appointments. Gamescom.
It's just like, yeah, I wish you want to freaking buy me a ticket and put me up in a hotel. I'll be there. No problem.
Yeah, exactly. I'll fly to Germany. Why not?
I'm not that influential an influencer to get the free plane ride. Geez, how much would it cost to go to Germany? Probably a couple of grand.
Oh, at least, right? From where we live, like, Germany's a long-ass ways away.
It's like pretty much like, I don't know if you can get much farther, opposite coast.
Yeah,
even if you went across the Pacific, but I don't think that's the way they go to Germany.
No, they jump over the pole, I think.
Yeah, sweet. Anyway.
Yeah.
I would like to go.
Me too. I hear they got good beer there.
There's not a lot of places I want to go in Europe, but Germany's one of them.
I would like to go all over in Europe.
Germany,
one day.
Germany, Italy, and France. And obviously the mainland Portugal, but besides that, I'd
love to go to Spain.
And Spain.
Check out some Greece.
And Spain.
Oh yeah. There's lots of cool things I'd like to see.
I don't care about Greece. Still mad about losing Euro Cup to them in 2004.
Dude, get over it. Portugal won this year.
Hey,
let bygones be bygones. Jeez.
Grudges sting. They last. They cut deep. No, I'm just kidding. No, Greece, the islands would be pretty amazing there.
Yeah.
But yeah, Gamescom. So I think there's a little bit of a, lull in news thanks to that. But, hey, there's been some new games. There's been one gigantic game, controversial game, most anticipated game. No Man's Sky has released on PS4.
Yeah.
Unfortunately not
PS4.
out for another day for PC players.
2 days, technically.
Yeah.
Comes out on Friday, August 12th.
2 days from when we record, 1 day from when you listen.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's a worldwide release on PC and Steam.
How much do you think that's going to destroy everything?
What do you mean?
Well, where they're doing a simultaneous worldwide release on PC, I'm totally afraid that they're going to do that and then the
you mean the
servers are going to
servers are
go
gonna crash?
down.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because they've already alluded that like there's a lot more people playing the game than they anticipated initially. So,
well, I guess we can just. Do you want to just bust right in what you've been playing? I think we may as well.
I know what you've been playing, you son of a bitch.
I've been playing No Man's Sky on PS4. Obviously, I to say the truth, I honestly think I think No Man's Sky is pretty much a single player game that just phones home to update discoveries and pull galaxy information. So I don't know how demanding it is on servers. So
I don't know, because you got to remember though that every discovery that happens while you're playing the game phones the server.
Yeah, it doesn't happen automatically though. You have to manually upload your discoveries.
Right.
So it that might, offset the load of that information being uploaded to the server.
Interesting.
Maybe.
I don't know. I just know like
so it's not consistently getting pinged, right? Because like I played for like a few hours and then I just uploaded all my stuff.
Right.
So some people may not even realize they have to upload it, or some people might go as they go along, but probably does some lightening of the load. But yeah,
I'm not sure, because I do know that they posted photos and stuff showing like that people had already discovered like 10 or 12 million animal species, and the game's only been out for like 2 days. So I mean,
yeah, I don't know.
They'd pretty much alluded that they were blown away and that the servers were getting stressed. How's that?
Yeah, for sure. I wonder. It'll probably, if it's gonna break, it's gonna break on PC.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm kind of worried about. Like I'm worried that I'm gonna get it on Friday and it's gonna be like unplayable for me all weekend because servers and bullshit.
So, No Man's Sky. For those of you who have been living under a rock for the past, 2 years? 3 years? I don't know when they originally unveiled it. I want to say 2 years ago.
They showed it. I want to say that they unveiled it like at the E3 where they unveiled the PS4, didn't they? Or was it the E3 after?
I can't remember because I was at the E3 for the PS4 and that was 2013. I feel like it was the one after. Actually, I don't even feel like it was the one it was definitely the E3 after. I feel like it might have been at PlayStation Experience that they showed it for the first time. Or was it the Game Awards?
I don't know. All I remember is that they showed this video of this dude running around this planet, then he jumped in a spaceship and he took off into space and he went to another planet and everybody went, oh, because it was all seamless.
Yeah. People's minds were blown and people's imagination obviously ran wild. So this game obviously has been at a couple E3s. It's been pretty hyped. It's the be-all, end-all, last game you'll ever need to own. I can go anywhere, do anything.
I do want to point out
space adventure.
I do want to point out that the developers themselves never said this is the last game you're going to need to play.
Nope, they never said
that. Was all the internet in all of their wonderful glory.
This is all the fandom that came with the hype.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a little bit Sony's fault because they realized they had something pretty unique in this title. To be honest, PC gamers have played games like this before. It's like your survival games that are out there. Right now, on PC, you've got Ark and Rust and there's multiple other ones, where you basically start naked or you're in underwear and you bang a tree and then you craft stuff and you get recipes and you learn stuff, and you progress in technology, get better armor, better weapons, better buildings and shelter.
Right.
Almost like a Minecraft.
Oh man,
same kind of thing.
You are not selling this game to me at all. This is like everything that you're describing right now. I'm just like, oh man, this might not be for me at all.
But
I kind of wish there was some way that I could test this now and not like necessarily buy it.
No Man's Sky is a little different. and that you start crash landed on a planet, need to repair your ship. There's some semblance of I guess it's a story. They give you motivation to travel off the planet, go follow this beacon, go to the space station, encounter aliens and so forth. So that it isn't just you're stuck on one planet and doing the crafting building thing. Or actually they said they're gonna add like building elements to the game which aren't in it yet.
Yeah, I saw that. You're gonna be there's gonna be base building.
Yeah,
and, like,
so that'll be really cool.
Like
when you can build a permanent base. Who knows if it'll be like a space station or on a planet. Anyway, yeah, so you start crash landed, your ship can't fly. You need to go gather resources. You have your, what do they call it? Your multi-tool, which is basically like a mining laser and or a pistol. It changes modes.
Right, so it's kind of like a weapon as well as... Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's kind of whatever you need it to be.
It's a tool and a multi-tool.
Is that what you also use to scan as well?
The enhancements to your scanner are attached to your weapon.
Okay.
But it almost appears to be a visor. The way the game works is you have your your exosuit. I might be calling it wrong.
No, that sounds right.
Wrong name. You've got your ship, and then you've got your multi-tool. And each item has so many slots that you can equip enhancements.
Okay.
Your multi-tool, you can make it mine longer, and it overheats, so you can, make it cool faster and or, have more shots in the magazine for when you're in your blaster mode and so forth.
Right, okay.
So depending on how many mods you have on it, the gun will have so many slots, and then there's better guns you find. And your ship's the same kind of thing. Your ship has so many slots, and it has its, its jump drive and its, its other hyperdrive and so forth. And it's got weapons. It's got shield and so forth. And then it has like cargo. So whatever you don't have enhancements into the ship, you can essentially put cargo in. And then your exosuit, the same thing. It has, your jetpack and your life support systems. And same thing. You can get different mods. I've got a few, but I haven't installed them. And they're almost like crafting recipes. They take different materials.
So you gotta go find the various materials so that you can actually craft them and stuff like that?
Yeah, so you start crash landed on a planet. And then basically there's everyone's experience is going to be different. You're going to be on a total toxic planet. You're going to be on a nice, clean planet. I happen to be on a toxic planet, so it's always ticking down my life support system.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Not at a fast clip. It's really slow. But I do have to recharge the system or eventually you'll take damage.
Right. Have you found out what happens if you die yet?
I haven't died yet. I've gotten in some confrontations with creatures and the sentry drones.
Right.
But I haven't died yet. I do know, it sounds like it has a corpse run mechanic. So when you die, you can go back to your corpse and get all your mats and so forth.
Right. Okay.
And it creates a restore point every time you jump into your ship or you find shelter points, which essentially create a save point. So
okay. Well, that's good. So at least it's sort of saving
yeah, so it's
because man, that for me would kill it so fast. The whole just doing and crafting and getting all this stuff, and then all of a sudden, I don't know, something happens and you're dead. And it's right, well,
I haven't actually died to see how that works.
Well, get on that, man. Jeez,
I don't want to die. I'm a freaking awesome space explorer, dude. I'm right now. My ship is always near me, so I don't venture too far away, so I imagine it wouldn't be too hard. I guess if you don't repair the ship, you can go into your ship. When you're in your ship, you're protected from the environment, and then it saves. So essentially, you could just use your ship until you have collected the materials to repair it, so you can lift off. Essentially, as a save spot early on. Okay. And basically, it tells you, you need this material, and this material. it's like repair the jump drive and repair this. And
is there like a map or something like that you can pull up and like scan the planet to find out where you need to go to get the materials, or is it just kind of like...
There's a map, I have no idea how to pull it up.
Okay.
There is, when you do like a scan pulse, it sends out a pulse from your guy.
Right.
And then it highlights materials, and they're different types. Like it'll have a lightning bolt for essentially like energy mats, and that's the kind of stuff that your ship uses, and your multi-tool and suit abilities use.
Right, okay.
Then you have like crafting materials, and then you have trade materials and so forth. Like my ship, you need plutonium to charge up the engine so that it can take off. And then you need a different material for the jump drive or the hyperdrive to get off the planet. And at first, it kind of just teaches you, okay, this is how you get stuff from plants or from rocks. There's certain plants or vegetation you can collect materials from, just like, and pick them up. And then there's other stuff you have to use the mining laser on. And, it's a collection game at first. And then you get your ship off the ground, and then you can actually go around the planet a bit. And then the scanning and hunting gathering gets a little bit bigger. You end up finding monoliths and then settlements.
Interesting. Okay.
You end up finding like...
But initially you're just flying around more or less that first planet then.
Yeah, you're flying around that first planet until you get the drive fixed so you can leave it. And it's like a little bit of a tutorial teaching you how to get the stuff and what's what, and introducing you to the little different mechanics and so forth.
Right.
I don't know how every planet works. My planet has like a trading... what do they call it?
Like trading hub or...
Yeah, I can't remember the name
station?
now. But
is it in space or is it on the...
No, it's on the planet. It's on the planet. It has a little base with there's like 6 landing pads, and there's aliens consistently coming and going.
Oh, interesting.
I totally forgot that they pretty much have Gladys's voice in here.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was a story way back in the day. Or they're totally ripping it off, but your exosuit and your ship basically sound like Gladys. And then
Weird.
the intergalactic trading entity robot basically looks like the Space Cube from Portal 2. The space personality. It doesn't talk at all.
Right.
But he looks exactly like one of those personality cubes from Portal 2.
Wow, okay.
Which is kind of
floats your boat, I guess.
So you find these hubs and you can buy stuff, sell stuff. There'll be aliens, but you don't understand them. You find these monoliths around the planet and like these alien artifacts, which actually teach you words. So right now I've learned about 20 words.
Oh, okay. So is this kind of like the way that you learn like other people's languages?
The other alien species, at least the one that, is
interesting.
In this
so
system,
in that way you can sort of start to communicate with them?
Mm-hmm. At first, you have no idea what they're saying, and then it's like, offer them material, sell them this, or do this, or don't shake their hand. So you don't know what they're saying, so you don't know if it's aggressive or passive or what they want from you. So I failed a few. It's almost like a speech check, like saying Mass Effect or something. Except for you don't know what they're saying, right? It's a faceless alien because they're in a suit.
Right.
And you're guessing. As you obviously learn more of their language, I assume your interactions will be more positive. I have lucked out on a couple.
Right. Okay.
My standing has gone up with them. I was at a negative standing, but now I'm like at a couple steps up positive wise.
Okay. Interesting.
And yeah, eventually there's a beacon in space. And then you jump into space and it's like, holy crap.
And that's where you realize just like what you were just spending 10 hours on, there's a quintillion of those.
Yeah, you can do that over and over. But before we get to that, as you're on the planet, there's, wildlife, plants, materials and stuff, and you can scan it all and you earn credits for submitting or discovering these, life forms, vegetation and so forth, which is kind of neat. You get a huge bonus if you discover all the life forms on a planet. I don't know.
Oh, interesting.
So
I actually was seeing some people on Twitter talking about trying to find like everything, and they were like 1 or 2 short.
Yeah, see,
like,
I'm
what?
too short on the planet that
Check
I'm
the
on.
birds, man. Look up in the sky.
There are a couple birds, but I haven't been able to scan them because they're always buggering around. So
You got to shoot them out of the sky apparently, and then scan them.
you had to kill them.
That's just what I heard on the internet. All right, don't take my word for it necessarily, but you can try
that.
Just don't piss off the sentinels.
Yeah, the sentries, the sentinels, whatever they're called, it's kind of weird because I thought they only bothered you if you only killed wildlife.
No,
but they essentially get pissed off when you're mining and killing plants
too
and trees.
much. Oh yeah.
So sometimes they don't do anything. You just walk away when they come by, and it's like they're like, "Oh, someone mined this stuff," but okay, and they move along. But if they catch you in the act, they get aggressive, and they're not too difficult to shoot. If you kill them quickly, they won't alert any other bots.
I see. Okay.
If you take too long, they'll alert some more. I fought up about 3 at a time. They drop good materials if you take them out. So you can make a game of taking them out. And they also, I found lots of plans from them as well.
Oh, interesting.
So like mods for my gun and my suit and my ship. So
right.
Right now I just been totally trying to like scavenge this planet, by hunting down monoliths. And there's also, these shelters that have backpack upgrades. Backpack.
Oh man. Is this one of those like, I'm going to spend half the time inventory managing because my inventory's full and shit?
I gotta spend that much because you can you can empty your inventory by charging all your stuff up. But yeah, at first it's like you can fill your inventory very quickly.
Okay.
I've I think doubled the size of my backpack from where it started.
So then do you have to like go all the way back to your ship in order to get rid of your stuff, or?
No, you can just transfer your stuff to your ship freely. You just can't take stuff back from your ship, but you don't need to be near your ship to empty your backpack. So it's not like a total pain in the ass. But you'll get to a point where you have tons of stuff and you're like, I don't want to get rid of any of this stuff. But there are some items that are like blatantly for trade and for selling.
Right.
Like they're not used in any recipes. So you just go back to the trading post and offload that stuff and you get a bunch of money. And it's kind of funny when you run into other aliens when they fly into the trading posts, or if you see their ships anywhere, you can just initiate conversation with them and you can offer to buy their ship.
Really?
Yeah, so because your ship only has so many slots in it, so you got to get a better one. Right. And the first ship doesn't have a hyperdrive. Now the pre-order ship has a hyperdrive.
Oh. So you're saying you have a hyperdrive then? I
have one now, but I went through the whole upgrading the original ship, and I actually am kind of pissed because I bought a better ship.
Oh, I heard at the beginning, don't buy ships.
I hear
they're super expensive at the beginning.
Yeah, I bought a better ship.
But it's not better than the one that you pre-ordered?
No. It is and it isn't. It had a couple more slots, but it didn't have a hyperdrive.
What? Can you take the hyperdrive from your pre-order ship and put it in your other one?
The thing is when I redeemed the pre-order ship, it like wiped out the ship I owned. So
what?
I don't know if there's a way of selling your old ship, because you always have to have a ship. You can't not have a ship.
Oh, so it's not like you can sell your ship.
No, I think when you just buy a new one, your old ship is just gone, which is kind of weird, or I'm doing something totally wrong. That's the other thing.
There's like a hangar somewhere where your other ship is?
Yeah, that I don't know about. But a lot of the mechanics aren't like totally spelt out. There's a little bit of figure it out on your own, right?
Dark Souls-esque going on?
Yeah, minus the difficulty. So I've spent a lot of time on the planet just trying to upgrade my carrying capacity. I got another ship, and I've just been kind of grinding because that's essentially what it is. And I'm ready to go hit this beacon that's telling me to go to. So I've gone to space and I've seen my system. And then I was just a little overwhelmed because I hadn't done much on the planet. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go back to the planet and just get a little better feel for this stuff before I start really effing around out in the middle of the galaxy.
So here's another question I have. do you have to like fuel up your ship? Like, can you only like fly so far on like a tank of gas kind of an idea before you have to like pull over onto a planet and like fuel up
That's
with
the
plutonium?
thing. I don't know because I haven't gone to another planet yet. I've only flown around out in I guess the outer atmosphere, the immediate space around the planet I started on. So I don't really know how that mechanic works. Though I've played probably 3-4 hours, it's been essentially all on just the one planet. So I still have to discover how that all works. So I can't say.
Okay,
I know when you're on the planet and you take off, and fly around the planet, that takes resources, like a decent amount chunk every time you take off and initiate the engines to take off.
Oh.
It doesn't seem to take a lot of resources when you're flying around the planet. The big expenditure is when you actually lift off the ground.
It's like you're leaving the atmosphere or whatever. Like, it takes a lot to get out of there.
Yeah, to get airborne, just to take off. Like,
my guess
flying
is then
around
is that
the planet,
you probably have to like, you could have probably only fly so far before you have to like pull over for more gas.
Yeah, I assume when you jump into space, it basically tells you whether you can or can't reach the next planet. So at that point, you will obviously have enough to go land and collect more.
Right.
So I don't think you can get stuck like in space. Like, oh, I ran out. I think there is always something within reach.
That would be kind of interesting, though. You just have to like wait for your ship to float towards. Because that's the thing. Like, once you get going, because there's no friction, no oxygen in space, you would essentially just continue to go in that trajectory, right?
Mm-hmm. And
so
I've seen there's other ships flying around the planets. There's other factions. I haven't pissed anyone off, so no one attacks me. I've heard there's space pirates.
Oh.
So if you're like traveling around with a lot of shit in space, essentially you can get attacked by pirates. So there's a bunch of mechanics I haven't even seen yet.
Oh, wow. Okay. So there's quite a bit more.
Yeah, there's quite a bit more. So I'm very early.
Right.
I do enjoy what I'm playing, and I want to play more. Like, it's all I've wanted to do. I woke up early this morning to play more. It's, my planet, pretty non-hostile, so it's very chill experience.
Right.
I've heard other people have, like, not
started off on their planets are not
on
nice.
Planets that are not as nice.
Did you get to name the planet that you started on?
I got to name the planet I started on.
All right, everybody.
I gave it a pretty lame name.
What did you name it?
Odin.
Really?
I can come up with anything.
Man. With you out there naming planets, this is just,
I know.
Wait, how many, like, I wonder how that works. Like, can multiple people name different planets the same thing?
I have no
Or does
idea.
it tell you, like, no, that name's already taken?
I've never gotten denied on anything that I've named, so. Like, I named the deer creature on my planet Bambi. And I named the crab-looking creature, head crab from Half-Life.
Okay. Fair enough, I guess.
I'm a naming genius. Not. But yeah, I'm liking it. I do like these crafting. Sebastian would be a good one. Maybe the next crab I discover.
Screw you, man. I'm going to name my crab Sebastian.
Well, I've got a couple days before you can name crabs.
Motherfucker!
Sounds so bad. I like these crafting survival games. Like me and my buddies were playing Ark.
Right.
It would be cool. Like, the whole multiplayer thing, they kind of been walking on eggshells and dancing around it. Apparently some guys on Twitch were in the same planet, looking at the same structure, yet they couldn't see each other. Apparently that had to do to server issues, but I don't know. I think everything's instanced, so you could be on the same planet as other people, but if you're not in the same instance, they've never shown footage of seeing other people. You think they would show that?
Well, because they flat out said, like, the chances of you accidentally bumping into another human being is so slim, right?
Yeah, is that so slim?
Like, they were blown away that those guys managed to find each other on the first day, right? Like,
so now, was that luck, or is it that was their answer because they just don't have the tech for the multiplayer really set up?
I think it's a bit of both. I think that they honestly, I mean, anytime a developer thinks the internet isn't going to do something, they do it way faster than they anticipate.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like, oh, we'll make the level cap 50. They'll never get there. It'll take them years to get there, and we'll have figured out what's going on, by the time they get there. And 2 weeks later, everybody's up against the level cap, and they're like, holy shit, are you serious? What is going on? People live to do nothing but play sometimes. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's, I'm enjoying it. It's super chill. Like, at least my planet is super chill.
Your next planet's gonna be a bitch.
It's gonna be interesting to see what happens when I go into space and go to the space station and check out this beacon and see more of, like, the story, in quotation marks, story, motivation, quest. Apparently, like, there's different paths that they patched. Like, the patch was huge, apparently, as to what was,
they changed a lot in that patch. It was crazy how much they made, like, meddled with essentially the day before the game came out.
Added a bunch of stuff.
I don't know. I mean, I think that this game was designed to be a single player game in a shared universe. But at the same time, like, obviously people are going to have an influence on it, because I'm hearing stories about, like, the possibility of you going to a planet and, like, ravaging it, and somebody else showing up at that planet and seeing what you've done. So I mean, I know that you'll be able to affect it in that way. So I don't know.
There's a bunch of, I'm reading this update. It's huge.
Oh yeah, it was a monster update. Which is why, like, they were like, yeah, you're going to have to get rid of your save if you played before we released the game, because everything is different now.
I wonder where this information of what they have planned is coming.
Well, I mean, we know the base building stuff they're planning, and they're planning on something else, like pirate type stuff as well, so I don't know. Or space shipping or whatever they were talking about.
Yeah, there's going to be a bunch of new stuff. They're obviously going to keep working on it. It's been pretty well received. It has had so much hype, so it's pretty, some people are going to be disappointed, depending on what you were looking for. Like I said, I enjoy these types of games. We've played Ark and stuff. I imagine the one thing that might get, I don't know, I guess once the mechanics get old and I've totally dug in and seen everything there is to see, I might get a little bored that there isn't the multiplayer aspect and having a base, roaming around with your friends, and, like, say, being pirates or being dicks to other players, because that is pretty hilarious in a game like Ark.
For me, that's actually a large part of why I'm not interested in those types of games. Because for me, it's just like, I don't know, like, what's the point in, like, going out there, spending all this time building a base and getting everything together,
and then the super level
I, like,
guy
log off, and then it's gone. I come back and I'm like back
That's
to
true.
zero.
Yeah, we've come back in Ark. We've come back to our base being totally raided, and our dinosaurs all killed, and you know, there's a time investment. But that's what.
And I don't have that kind of time investment anymore.
It's
it
is the risk reward
18.
that makes those games kind of fun. But yeah, it absolutely sucks. Like, you come back and it's like, in Ark, it tells you who killed your freaking shit. So you know who killed your dinosaurs. So when you see
good and bad,
fucking the guy who did it, you're not too happy. But it also allows you to go stalk their base and F them up when they ain't around. So that's kind of fun too. The commitment and the excitement I see from, the developers, I assume this game's gonna evolve. Yes, it has. It's like, paths that, they've updated and given, like, a story mode kind of thing for people who need direction.
Hey, don't knock that.
I wouldn't,
I'm totally one of those people. I get lost in it, man. Like, for me, like, I need some sort of guidance, because otherwise, like, I get so distracted, and I end up 10 times away from where I was supposed to be, and then it's daunting for me. Like, I don't know. And part of it is like a time aspect as well, right? That is one thing I absolutely love about The Witcher 3 is that I can jump back into that game, and it does a great job of reminding me, this is what you were doing, this is where we were going, this is who we were killing, that is what we were, that's who we were trying to bang. I don't know, like, whatever it was, kind of what's going on, it's easy to dive back into even after haven't touched it in several months, and I appreciate that about that game. And some of these games where it's just so open, it's like it's like Grand Theft Auto for me. I get so distracted with all of the other shit that if I'm not careful, I play all of the side shit and I play all of that other stuff and I waste way too much time on it. And then I don't even remember where I was in the story. And it kind of almost in a way wrecks it for me.
I wouldn't say it has as much stuff as like a Grand Theft Auto. Like, you don't have these 20 quests on the screen distracting you and pushing and pulling your attention. It's more that exploration aspect of
what's over the next ridge? What's under
what's
that
over the next
over
ridge?
there?
What's in that cave? What's around that corner? What's in that building I just discovered behind that locked door?
See, that excites me. That's really cool.
So if you enjoy that kind of stuff, that's like what this game is really. It's just exploration.
Because, like, I mean, that was one aspect of Guild Wars 2 that I absolutely loved. Was like finding a new, you walk into a new area or whatever, and it's just you walk around and try to find every little thing that you could, and you're, there's a high point up there, so where I can like do a lookout. How the hell do I get up there? And like, that's fun. I don't know. I find that fun and definitely, enjoyable.
And that's what I'm enjoying. Like, I like doing that. Yeah, right. I'm not playing with my buddies, but I do like going around and discovering these new stuff, finding this stuff. Some people are saying the planets aren't so different, and the aliens and the life forms aren't so different. There's only so much procedurally generated randomness that you can have. I'm sure you're going to kind of get a gist of all the planets after you visit a few. They're going to be obviously different shades of pink or blue or green, but the life forms and vegetation is going to be very similar. But it's a cool game. I'm not going to say it's freaking amazing, because if you don't like games where you explore and you kind of self-guide and you give yourself a mission, like right now my mission on this planet is I want to find a bunch of backpack upgrades, and they're scattered around and you can explore and you can find them. And, I've doubled my inventory, which essentially will help me make more money, which will help me buy a better ship and then go farther, better, faster, stronger, right?
Interesting.
I'm going to get into this space stuff. I just didn't have enough time between, I've literally only had it for a day before we recorded. So I squeezed in as much time as I could, but I'm liking it. I wasn't expecting it to be this crazy, amazing, mind-blowing thing, but, after a couple months and a couple patches, with the stuff they're talking about with base building and the stuff they're going to add, who knows, it may very well morph into the be-all, end-all that everyone's expecting.
Yeah, I mean...
And a game of that scale, with that, that much stuff, it is something that takes definitely more than a couple of years to make, so...
Oh, yeah.
It's almost like... early access almost, except for that I haven't seen any bugs. People are talking about bugs. It seems pretty stable on PS4. I'm sure the PC version is going to look 1,000 times better.
Yeah, I've been like,
which would be nice.
I've really been sort of up and down. Like yesterday, I almost said F it and bought the PS4 one, but I don't know. I really am holding out.
I was going to buy the PC version.
And, I'm going to hold out. I decided, like, when I found out you bought the PS4 one, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to hold out. I'm going to hold out a couple of days. I'll pick up the PC version. Hopefully the servers stay stable. I probably won't really get to play it much till, Saturday morning or whatever anyways. But I think it'll be all right. So
yeah, if you're looking for a multiplayer experience, it's not there yet.
And I'm not, so that's perfect.
That being said, I'm sure it's going to be there. it is a pretty easy pick up and play game. I've jumped in, collect some stuff, discover some more area, and then I've had to pause or and that's the thing, you can pause the game, deal with the baby and whatnot. So
yeah. Oh, that's nice then.
I'm gonna have to. For next week, I'll explore space, and then I'll probably kill myself and see what happens.
Or you'll just die.
Yeah, I will eventually die. So far, I haven't. I like it.
That's fair. That's really all you want, right? To enjoy what it is you're playing.
Pokemon Go. Barely been playing it. They did a big update, though. This is kind of in our news as well. And last week I was talking about how I was angry how they shut down the trackers. Niantic kind of went into depth saying how that was actually affecting their server stability some more. They gave some better reasoning. They've actually been a lot better at communicating, so they've actually been hearing everyone's complaints. They did an update. I think they said they fixed the catching bug where everything runs away after. Yeah.
I'm not going to lie, man. The other morning I had...
It's not as bad, but stuff gets harder the higher the level you are.
Yeah, I mean, I'm level 19 now, and...
randomly level 19, some stuff runs away after one ball toss.
Yeah, I've come across 3 Abras now. Raspberry, Great Ball...
High level?
No, one of them was only a 200. And ran away after the first ball.
Huh. Weird.
Every time. Yeah, I don't know, it's...
And you updated.
Yeah, I updated it as soon as I saw that because I was hoping
be something they're still working on. I don't know.
Yeah, it definitely seems like there's still I don't know.
There's still issues. They did implement a new tracking functionality, but they only released it to I don't know who they released it to.
San Francisco.
Really? People in San Francisco? That's it?
As far as I'm aware, they released it in San Francisco to a small subset.
So maybe beta testers?
And the idea is...
There was a beta of the game.
Yeah, they're testing this new sort of nearby feature where they're showing... essentially, it shows you the Pokemon that are close to the nearest Pokestops.
Yeah, images of what Pokestop they're near, and you'll basically find that Pokemon there.
And but then they're not doing anything as far as the stuff that you haven't seen, which is it is currently. Essentially, sightings are still just sightings.
Yeah, apparently, you can click on them and you'll see a map of where they are. Well, they'll zoom out and show you where they are for the ones that are...
oh, interesting.
So they're working on something, and they are talking about having, back to a distance-dependent thing. So they're experimenting. So they're working on it.
Yeah, they're definitely... I think that once they get that figured out a little more... It'll definitely be better.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm still, leaving the app open when I'm wandering around outside and stuff like that, going for walks, just to hatch eggs and things like that. But it's definitely, because I think of all of the pains and the growing and the fact that they haven't figured their shit out yet, it's definitely dropped off as far as how much it gets used by the wife and I.
It's been, excuse me. Besides going to the park where there's a Pokestop and me and my niece play it.
Yeah.
Because usually she throws up a lure or some other kid that's hanging out at the park throws a lure.
Yeah.
Works pretty decent. That still obviously works, but the hunting aspect's completely broken. But they're working on it and they said it. So, obviously, because Pokemon Go has been so disappointing lately. Actually, before I even talk about what this is, we're still in what you've been playing. No. Yeah, I'll talk about it in news. We're not in news yet. Because Pokemon Go has been so disappointing, I started playing Pokemon Alpha Sapphire on the 3DS.
Okay.
Which is basically a remake of Sapphire. I think it's Sapphire.
I don't know if I played Sapphire.
I've played them all, but I played them all except for the Black and White sequels.
Right. Okay.
Black and White 2. So, excuse me. Yeah, it's came out a couple years, almost 2 years ago now, 2014.
Okay, fair enough.
Remakes of the 2002 Game Boy Advance, Ruby and Sapphire.
Right. Okay.
They include a bunch of the updates from X and Y, as this came out after X and Y.
Okay, such as
just the 3D graphics, the new battling, the updated systems. Some of the, I don't know all of them. I can't remember them all. But it's not
List
a port.
all of them, man.
It's just not a straight up port of the old games. You know?
Right. Okay, that's fair.
They're essentially like a remaster, but because X and Y is the newest generation, which is the version that came out before this on 3DS. With all the 3D functionality and the 3D battles and the 3D, kind of third person going through cities view and so forth.
Right. Okay.
New starters and so forth. So, in terms of timeline, X and Y is the newest game up until Sun and Moon come out this fall. So this was just like a remake of a classic, essentially, but updated with all the new stuff.
Okay, that's fair.
So I hadn't played it. I played Y. I beat Y.
Why?
Why not?
Why? Oh, okay, fair enough.
So I beat Pokemon Y, and I beat all the gyms, beat the Elite Four or whatever. Actually, I unlocked quite a few Pokemon in there because Go was so depressing, and I wasn't getting any new Pokemon. I'm like, I gotta go play an old one. And so I started playing.
Feel better about yourself?
Yeah. I'm three badges deep.
Wow.
And, I just started. I think I started on Saturday or Sunday. It doesn't take very long, to get through the first few gyms cause it's basically paper, rock, scissors, right? Like the old.
Right, yeah, rock, paper, scissors.
It's a very simple RPG. It's not a very complex or depth RPG. They're meant for kids. But you do have the actual catching Pokemon. I can catch Pokemon. I can hunt them down and actually battle well.
Yeah, that is true. That is something that is definitely missing from the fighting at the gyms and things like that. It's such a simple thing.
You got your boss battles and trainer battles. You can trade. It's kind of cool. There's a radar. A new mechanic they introduced in this one that wasn't in Y. You have like a Poké radar. I don't know if that's the exact name, but you can, it'll alert you when there's a Pokemon near, and you can actually see, their like tail or ears or appendages sticking out of the grass. And
they should totally borrow that for Pokemon Go.
And you can sneak up on them. So you can actually, cause the 3DS has like an analog stick,
right?
Or nub, whatever you want to call it. You can actually sneak up on them and initiate battle with them, and you'll know it's going to be a specific Pokemon. And the ones that you initiate battle with using this method, as opposed to just the random invisible battle from running through the grass when you sneak up on one, they usually have different abilities, sometimes special abilities, or have special items on them.
Oh,
which is
okay,
kind of
interesting.
Neat. So that's new. That wasn't in Y.
Sweet.
So yeah, I'm enjoying it. I've beaten 3 gyms. It's like I said, RPG light. It's for kids. The whole thing is getting Pokemon. The radar is cool too because all the different routes in the game or the different areas, it tells you if you've caught all the types that will spawn there. So you'll know if you've got them all in a certain area, and it's like, okay, I can move on. I've got all of them from this area, which is really neat.
Right. That's pretty nice.
Which is cool. I really like that. So there isn't going to be some random spawn that you're missing out on because I've gotten all the ones that spawn here. Now, I don't know if that is 100% like true that it is everything that will spawn there. Maybe there's still some rares that still will randomly spawn, but they might be like anywhere in the game, so they're maybe not, counted in that little radar function.
Right. Well, I mean, they do. They do a similar thing in Pokemon Go where it's weird. Like, I'll be walking along, like out to my car or whatever, and all of a sudden, I'll be looking and there'll be, a Pidgey, a Weedle, and a Sparrow on my, nearby area or whatever, sighted. And then all of a sudden, a Slowpoke will like show up and I'm like, okay, well, I'll catch you, sure. But like, he didn't even show up on my radar. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So, I mean, they kind of do that all, like, even in Go, they sort of do that as well, so.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. And it's really easy to play with a baby sleeping on your chest.
That's still a thing handy. That's happening quite a bit, I assume.
That's the the key here. The handheld 3DS has probably gotten the most play in a long time. Yeah, she's definitely the little baby's a little more active, and she ends up passing out on me, and then I'm like stuck on the couch. So, the wifey's with her all day, so I can't really just ditch her and go hide in the office. It's kind of unfair to do that all the time. So,
yeah.
So the 3DS is perfect for that when you have a baby on you.
Excellent.
And it's really cool because there's a whole Pokemon 20th anniversary thing going on this year. I'm pretty sure we talked about it.
Yeah, I think we've touched on it at least.
They've been giving the cards away at GameSpot or GameStop and EB Games, and or you can also download them. I think last month was a download, and this month it was a card from the store. Like right now they're giving away Arceus, which is like a legendary Pokemon. So if you have
okay.
X or Y or Sapphire or Ruby on 3DS, you can download them using the card. And then next month's going to be a new one, and apparently they're talking about this fall. There's another new legendary from the next movie that will be a download. So they're always giving away like super high level and like rare and legendary Pokemon.
Right, okay.
Through events like this. So I downloaded a bunch of event Pokemon and got my card and got my, of course they're super high level, like level 50, 70, and 100. So I can't use them yet until I get a little farther.
You get a little further up.
It's really neat though, because these new versions they've added online. So you can battle your friends if you have their friend mode. You could battle random people. You can trade with people. You can they have a trading system where you can actually ask for specific trades.
Okay, interesting. So you could actually say like, I'm willing to trade this for that.
I'm pretty sure you can ask for specific trades. I haven't done that one.
Oh.
There's 2 trade methods.
So that may or may not work.
But you don't have to trade with your friends. You can do it with other people. I think you put stuff up and then you say yes or no. So you might not be able to request a specific one. You might be able to use your message, like your hello message, to say what you're looking for. And that might help it communicate to other people what you want. I'll have to experiment with that one. Because there's another one called the Wonder Trade, where now this is fun. It's like the random Russian roulette. You just trade a Pokemon and you get something back.
Oh, interesting.
Sometimes you get a
Weedle, and sometimes you
get a starter from a complete different game, or a legendary, or a rare,
interesting.
Or you get a total piece of trash.
Oh.
And then you promptly just trade that trash again and hope for the best. The only thing that sucks about this mode is there are a lot of Japanese players. So then you get Pokemon with Japanese names.
Oh.
And you can change your own Pokemon that you can change their nicknames on the ones that you've caught.
Oh, but you can't change the name on the other ones
that have been traded.
Oh, that's
really dumb.
Kind of
because I've gotten a couple awesome Pokemon, but then they have like Japanese names. So obviously you know who they are and their moves are English and everything. It's just their nickname is Japanese characters. So it looks kind of dumb in your menu. I don't know. It's a really OCD thing. It really bugs me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can understand how that would be annoying. If you're scrolling through and then
but it is kind of fun because like I've traded crap and I've gotten some awesome shit. And then of course traded Pokemon evolve faster. They get like double the experience.
Oh wow.
So if you didn't know that.
So there's sort of a reason to trade.
And I think it might have started in some of the earlier versions. I can't remember. There's so many Pokemon games, like literally.
Yeah, there's a few.
They're like Gen 6. and I think the one coming out this fall is Gen 7. This one, geez, I got like off track thinking about all the different generations.
There's so many generations of Pokemon. It's crazy.
I think it was in Y. It might have been X and Y. It might have been a version before this. So I could be wrong. But you get an item called Experience Share. That's been around in all the Pokemons, I think.
Right, okay.
Can't remember the original ones because, man, I'm an old man and I played those a long time ago. And that was like 20 years ago. But I know the Experience Share has been around. I know the Experience Share has been around for a while, but I'm pretty sure in Y, you get it earlier than later. So, I've gotten it already. I think I got it after maybe the first badge or maybe the second badge. The Experience Share, it's just a item you turn on or off. It's a key item. They have key items like your bike and fishing rod and stuff.
Right, yeah.
The Experience Share gives you divvy the experience between all your Pokemon. So, say you're pretty far level in the game, you get a new level 1 Pikachu. Well, you can't play with him, but you don't want to go back to the start of the game and battle level 1 characters, right?
No,
so
that
with
would
the
be kind of annoying.
The Experience Share, you can have your most powerful guy or, a couple guys, and you can power level a few lower end guys to get them up to snuff to roll with your crew, right? Because
right, okay, that's way nicer.
Yeah, their leveling is going to be like pretty quick trajectory compared to, your higher level ones are kind of gets a little flat after a while, right? So that's really cool. And I think that came in X and Y. That's also in this, and you get it pretty early, so it makes your party easier to manage instead of always having to switch out. Like, say you don't want to play with a certain Pokemon, you used to be forced to play with a certain one to level up. And this way you can play with your favorite guy or favorite guys and just keep the other guys in the party and level them up and use them when you need them for their specific power. And like I said earlier, if you don't know the real battling, not the Pokemon Go BS battling, in the actual games, it's, paper, rock, scissors, different types totally trump other types. Essentially, you can almost, depending on the level disparity, if you're fighting the right Pokemon with the right type and you're their weakness, you can essentially one-shot enemies quite often. So when you have a good team comp, it gets pretty good at, like, you can stomp guys. Or this exact same thing.
You can be a badass when you've got it going on.
It feels pretty cool when you have a good party. You're going through the fighting gym and, you're using flying Pokemon and you're wrecking the gym or you're in the fire gym and you have a party of water Pokemon. It's fun. That's like the fun is this mix and match. And there's so many types now. Like, I don't even know how many types there are.
There's a lot.
There's a lot now.
Like they went from like 151 Pokemon in the first.
Well, those are the Pokemon. Yeah, those are the Pokemon.
How many are they now? Like, there's so many now.
Which is different than the types, obviously, but.
Yeah, but they've added
grass,
like in each
fire,
of the gen, they've
water,
added,
ground,
dark and light, and love and hate, and I don't even know all of them.
No, fairy, dragon, steel, psychic, fighting, bug,
rock,
poison.
I
think I said rock already, but yeah, there's a bunch, and they have their strengths and weaknesses, and obviously the more types they've added, you don't always have the Swiss Army knife because you can only carry 6 Pokemon. So if you have dual type Pokemon, you can potentially have 6 types of
Mew wins all.
But the thing is also having dual type Pokemon, they have double the weaknesses, so that you can really get messed up.
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, so
Jeez.
There's some depth to the party building and the character types. And then there's invisible stats that like the super crazy Pokemon people get into.
Oh yeah, what do they call those? Like the IE stats?
Yeah, it's IV. It's the IV.
Like IV.
I think it's IV.
And it's how much, like what the potential is.
Yeah, it's
based
the potential of what their attack their attack will top out at, and their defense and their
people
special.
Get crazy, man.
You can really min-max parties, and the really hardcore players, man, they get into that. Anyway, I'm enjoying it because Go is so dumb until they fix it. I had to play a real game, and the 3DS has been my friend. And I've been enjoying it.
Fair enough. I need to plug mine in and charge my 3DS back up. I haven't touched it in forever.
It's a couple of years now. It definitely makes me really excited for Sun and Moon, and I think that's where Nintendo's going to probably see some, some positive gains because of the Go craziness. People are probably going to end up picking up or going, oh man, those were so good. And the Go might not be scratching the itch anymore. And then I played another game, Headlander.
Why does that sound familiar?
It just came out. It's what is it? What's the company who makes it? I'm having a total brain fart. Starts with a T.
Headlander.
Why am I having a brain fart? Double Fine. It's a Double Fine title.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah.
I have not played a lot of it. This was supplied to me by our very good friends at the PR company for Headlander.
Evolve.
I've probably only played the first level.
Okay.
Basically, you're a disconnected head. Humans have figured out how to download their consciousness into basically you're like a talking head, sort of like in Futurama. But your head has like a jet engine in it, or like a jetpack. Your head can float around, and you can connect to other bodies, like android bodies, and get their abilities, and then.
So it's like Kirby, but instead of sucking up the bodies, you attach to them?
Mm-hmm. But your head has like a suck ability, and you can rip heads off of bodies so that you can attach to them. And then you can attach to terminals and computers with your head to open doors. And it's a puzzle game. The different bodies you attach to have different skills. Well, for example, right now the first area has these red bodies, and the bodies are, differentiated by colors. The red body shoots lasers, which you can use.
Of course it does, because it's red.
To attack other, they're like androids basically that are you're trying to escape this complex, or this space station.
And you're just a floating head.
And you start as a simply floating head.
Okay.
And you, are fighting these security bots, stealing their bodies to get through security points, hacking terminals, flying through environmental puzzles. It's 2D.
Weird.
It's a neat game. I like what I've played. I just got distracted with No Man's Sky. It's a little Metroidvania because you get different abilities. You can only get to certain sections of a level until you unlock the new ability or the new body type. So it's one of those types of games. The graphics are really cool. The controls are very tight. Like when you're flying around, it feels good. It's very responsive. Again, this game was given to me, so take everything I say with a grain of salt. It's $20 on Steam. Might be a little more expensive on Canadian Steam. I don't know exactly what it is. I think it came out on PS4 and Xbox One as well.
I feel like this would make a great Vita game.
I was playing it on Windows. I don't know if it's on Vita. Yeah, I'm going to play more of it. I like what I played so far. It's definitely unique. I have not played anything like it before. I will say that much. Much like I Am Bread, it is, it's very, very different.
Different can be good.
Mm-hmm. I do like what I've played. Like I said, I just unfortunately got distracted with No Man's Sky. It is a cool game, and it looks really cool. It's stylized. It's kind of got like that 70s outer space kind of vibe to it.
Huh. Interesting. Okay. Yeah. I could see that kind of having like an interesting vibe to it.
Yeah. It's a super Metroidvania, like different powers, and traversal puzzles and so forth. It's a neat game. I do like what I played so far. I do have to play more. I've heard nothing but positive things, and obviously the mechanics get deeper and
weirder, probably.
Probably weirder and
Maybe
more.
you can attach to 2 bodies.
I don't think so. I'm watching the videos here, man. Some of the battles and the laser puzzles we get pretty intense. I'm gonna attach to looks like vehicles as well.
Oh boy. I look forward to hearing more about it. It seems very interesting.
It is a cool game. I do like what I've played so far. It's really neat.
Nice.
If you're looking for something new, it might scratch it. Oh, there's even boss battles. I'm watching the video on the Steam page, so it definitely gets much more advanced than what I've experienced so far.
Fair enough.
And that was about it. That's
You've
all
managed to play lots.
Yeah, I did manage to play. I felt like last week I played nothing, and this week I played a few. Obviously, I played the most No Man's Sky, but I'll get into that space exploration. And
yeah,
then,
I should have some thoughts for next week's show on that as well. I honestly did not play much. A little bit of Pokemon Go on the weekend. Went to the zoo. That was fun.
I keep forgetting there's a zoo on the mainland there.
There is a zoo. Saw the lions and tigers and saw a cheetah and a black panther, otherwise known as a jaguar.
Jaguar?
No, it was cool. It was fun. So,
is it expensive?
It's not. I mean, it's not cheap, but it's not expensive necessarily. I mean, like, what is it for? I think it's $25 each for like adults. So, I mean, my wife and I, it's like $50 for the two of us. Which, when you think about, I don't know, you go to like see an IMAX 3D movie now, that's $42 or something ridiculous. So,
yeah,
it's not, and we were there for like 4 or 5 hours. So, it was
Were
cool.
you, there like all afternoon, all day, like pretty?
Yeah, we went for breakfast, and then we got there at about 2, and we left there like almost 7.
Oh wow! So yeah,
I mean, like we were there for quite a while.
you probably could have taken longer if you wanted.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like there's like a little train that goes around in it and stuff. So I mean, like you can get on that, and there's some neat stuff there. Like I said,
Where is the zoo? Is that Stanley Park?
no, it's actually in Aldergrove of all places. It's a little bit out of the city, out towards. It's actually in Langley, so. So it's a little bit past where we live, but it was fun. So, but yeah, not a whole lot of games got played. Any of the games that I was playing, I've more or less talked through. Nothing really new to report on Marvel Heroes 2016. So
I guess that's about it for what you've been playing. I guess we can get into the news. Hasn't been a lot of news. We already talked about that. Obviously, we had our Gamescom coming up, so everything's been kind of quiet. I kind of talked about the Pokemon Go stuff already. There was the update. They're testing the tracking. The thing I forgot to link here was that Pokemon Go apparently made like $200 million
in its first month.
Like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's a little bit successful. Now, of course, the interesting thing about that is everybody went like, wow. And like, don't get me wrong, it's a lot of money, but how much of that actually does Niantic even get to see, I wonder, because...
Well, there'll be a 30% off the top from
exactly
Apple and Google Play.
Right. So right off the top, they're seeing 70%. And then how much of that do they have to pay to the Pokemon Company as well for licensing and all of that? I mean, it's interesting. Like, not like even if they make half, that's still $100 million in a month, which is insane.
I'd be surprised if they get to keep half, but yeah, regardless, they've got to, hey, Niantic's, but you know what? Niantic's owned by Google, so the big winner is Google.
Yeah, pretty much, eh? Taking 30% off the top to pay ourselves.
30% off the top. Apple and Google are probably big winners, but Google's like the double winner because they make the money from the Play Store and the fact that they own Niantic. I'm pretty sure. They own Niantic.
That's a pretty big Yahoo for them.
So the big winner,
news.
the big winner is Google. Like,
yeah, woo-hoo. No kidding. Hopefully they throw some more of that money back at Niantic too.
It'd be interesting to see. They have a little chart on this story that I linked on the Facebook. How it basically at day 18, where it launched in Japan, and it essentially skyrocketed, more than doubled. In the in the next 12 days or 14 days, 2 weeks. So it'd be interesting to see if that's maintaining or if it's got to be going down. There's got to be like the initial, like, because you can't make that much every month. No way. Because there's got to be a huge player base drop off.
I don't know, man. Because think about it, they've still got a ton of places where they got to they're planning on releasing in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So like these. This chart that they have here.
I don't even think they've technically released in South America yet, even.
Mm-hmm. So they're comparing, first month, like, to Candy Crush or Soda, whatever the hell their new stupid game is, and Clash Royale, which I guess Clash Royale, I think, was the last record holder. At like 120, close to 125 million. So they springboard past that.
Oh yes, big time.
Regardless of what we think and how pissed off we are, other players are of that game, they're doing real good. Like, really good.
They're doing all right.
They're not hurting.
No. So put out some more servers and fix your near shit.
Yeah, which I'm sure now that with numbers like that, there's obviously going to be some good updates, I'm pretty sure, because they're going to want to stay up there.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And they're not going to... I'm hoping they're not going to let it die on the vine. It's still pretty early. It's, been out for a month now, or not close to a month now?
I don't even think it's been out a month yet. Getting close to it, I guess.
The stat is a month, so it must be a month, so...
Yeah. Yeah, and ultimately they shut down all the Pokemon Go trackers because they were hitting their servers a lot, and it was causing them to have huge spikes in server usability. So by shutting down the trackers that everybody loved, which of course made them enemy number one in their own game, go figure.
Yeah, which I obviously bitched about. So.
Oh yeah, we both did, because it definitely sucked. But that being said, they also said, they showed the stats of, like, look, this is our queries before we stopped the trackers, and this is the queries after. And it's pretty substantial, the amount of bandwidth and queries on the server that, they were able to save.
Yeah. So I was wrong for bitching. That's why we're talking about it, because I was like, it didn't affect anything. And that's just because I was upset that they freaking took it away from me, because that's what broke the game.
Yeah. So here's, hoping that we do know that they are working on something to replace it.
There's no hoping. They got money and they got no excuse. Now just get on it quicker.
Exactly.
Overwatch competitive season is ending soon.
Holy shit, I haven't even played a single game of competitive Overwatch.
So it's season 1, ends in 2 weeks, or less than now. I posted this last week. There's a breakdown on how the credits go depending on your placement, what you will get. I think I'm a 47 right now, which is 3 up from the bottom. It goes
so that'll get you about 40
40 credits
points.
You need about 300 to buy to unlock one golden gun skin.
So you got a ways to go.
I got a ways to go. I gotta do some. We did pretty good. We played a bunch of competitive on Monday, and I want to say we won 3 or 4 and lost 1 or 2. I think it was like 3, won 3, lost 2.
Lucky.
So I ended up higher than where I started. I did pretty decent, but man, if you have a bad streak, you go down a lot.
And I imagine that people are a lot less okay with you having some bad streaks in competitive.
Well, we play, there's usually 4 of us or 5 of us.
Right.
So with us, it's much easier to communicate. So it really depends how bad or stupid the people that are playing with us, how, if they're really bad that they're just putting a hole in our defense, or they're just not pulling their weight and they're adamant about playing a certain class. I think the losses had more to do with the idiots that were playing with us than us. Like when we have 6, we can communicate and it works every time. Okay, we're going all left. Let's all group up. And for most other teams that if they aren't a group of 6, they have a really hard time dealing with 6 competent people come through. I will say playing on PC, I'm going to guess the talent pool is a lot higher. Also, the cheating pool is a lot higher.
Oh, really? You guys found that in competitive?
I haven't had any, but some of the guys said that they noticed they played against some blatant cheaters. And we talked about the Banhammers last week, I think.
Oh, yes.
Or the week before. So they're all over it, but, there's still always the one idiot who figures he's going to cheat, and you look at the kill cams and it's like, your hands can't move that fast and you always got headshots. Like,
that one's hard for me because I have a buddy of mine that used to play competitive Counter-Strike, and he used to get thrown out of games left, right, and center because everybody said the same thing. Well, and I watched that guy play, and he was nuts.
I used to be that good when I was in my heyday in Counter-Strike back in the day. I got accused of cheating all the time. I was a headshot king with the AK because I had that gun on lock. I could headshot like nothing, and you just instantly get accused of cheating. But I mean, you see the kill cams, the mouse jumping from head to head. That's not natural movement. It's it's freaking blatant. Actually, Kotaku posted a story of a guy who, like a top, I want to say Korean streamer or player, was blatantly using an aimbot on Steam and like got busted and banned like mid game.
Wow, that's crazy that you'd have the balls to think that you could do that and get away with it.
So everyone was like questioning, like, how did he get, like, he was a top 300 player?
Wow.
Yeah, they were questioning how the heck he got so high and so far with obviously cheating. Anyway, so the season's ending. I'll probably never get a golden gun. It'd be really interesting to see what it would be like to play with a mouse and keyboard on like the PS4. You'd probably just slay people.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're playing against everybody who has, a controller. Like the competition there is
like they nerfed Torbjorn because controller players couldn't deal with his turret, and that's simply like a control input lag issue because they're playing on a controller. It takes them longer to, recognize where the turret is and aim and swing over to deal with it. So they had to nerf him because of the disadvantage players are with a controller.
Yeah, exactly.
So imagine, I've been meaning to get there's an adapter for the PS4. A bunch of my buddies play Destiny. And
does it actually work?
Yeah, they play Destiny and they play Trials every weekend. And they say they get to the lighthouse like no problem. And that's because they're playing keyboard and mouse versus people who aren't keyboard and mouse.
Man, I can play Destiny with a keyboard and mouse.
The only problem is I can't remember the name of the exact device.
Oh.
It's an X something.
Right.
It's not cheap. It's like $150 or like maybe even like $200. But my buddy swears by it, and he says they just wreck shop. And
man,
I can imagine using that on Overwatch on console. Just make yourself feel really good.
That would be amazing. Then you'd be the one getting banned for cheating, though.
But it's not cheating. It is kind of...
Man, I want to know about that now. Because I've always said, man, I would love to play Destiny with a keyboard and mouse. I would.
It's been on my list of wants for a while now. I'm going to have to...
I might have to stick that on my Christmas list, man.
I posted a little story from the PlayStation blog about No Man's Sky, 7 ways to play or to start your adventure Just gives you some tips so you don't make some early
Stupid
mistakes. I don't see anything that you wouldn't figure out here on your own.
Yeah. Yeah, it might help you.
Except for maybe the last tip, the one tip, cause some trouble. Where it's saying, kind of like not to be too scared of the Sentinels. They will take you out, but, early on, if you take on a couple, there's some good resources to be had. They're not very difficult as long as you're quick at dispensing them. It's almost like a Grand Theft Auto star system. It starts with 1 and then 2 and it goes up. I haven't gotten past 2 because I kill them always fast.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I've heard that you can...
Oh, you'll get mechs and all kinds of... You'll get wrecks.
Yeah, like you can... It's almost like a Grand Theft Auto type thing where it's just crazy.
You posted this one. I didn't really see it. But yeah, apparently there's a StarCraft HD remaster in development.
That's... Yeah, like...
So it's a rumor. This is rumor.
Yeah, so the rumor is that a remastered version of the original StarCraft could be on the way. Now, I don't know how much credibility is here. It was a Korean site that broke this story. They were citing multiple sources. It said the game features updated graphics and an improved user interface, but maintains the original gameplay. Now, I don't know what that all means. Like, to
so
me...
Is it the original game in the StarCraft 2 engine?
Yeah, I don't know. I honestly have no idea.
It kind of seems like the no-brainer, right? Like that would be...
Yeah. To me, though, this is an odd one because... I mean, I know a lot of people that still think that the original is vastly superior to the new one. And, if you were to make the old one pretty, wouldn't you possibly kill StarCraft 2?
Yeah, I don't know, because I don't know, making the game pretty, I guess it's still the same old game. They choose what games to run at what tournaments.
But I mean, if you look at the old game, like it's hard to play now just based on like it hasn't aged well from a aesthetics perspective.
It's just the mechanics, the balance is that what players are in love with, obviously, because the units that exist in that game.
Oh, absolutely! The game is incredibly balanced. Like it's crazy.
I don't know. It is a weird one. It's kind of like the guys who were stuck on Counter-Strike 1.6 versus Source. And then even people, I think, who
still play Source versus
compared
Go.
to Go.
Yeah. It's an interesting thought to me, just because I feel like StarCraft 2 has not had the longevity that
in terms of the competitive scene, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, like the games have been well received. The campaigns are amazing.
Yeah, I just mean like the amount of people playing them, especially multiplayer.
The tournaments never got as big as the original StarCraft, I don't think.
Oh, not even close. Close. Like, I mean, and obviously you're trying to, put lightning back in the bottle again, if you will. Like, it's hard, right? But I don't know. It's in some ways, I think StarCraft 2 is amazing, and I don't know, maybe it was almost too close to the original and not different enough, or maybe it was too different and not close enough. I'm not really sure.
I was never hardcore enough to know.
Yeah, me neither. That's kind of that's totally where I'm at. I understand, like, I have a few friends that are like super hardcore into it. And I mean, obviously they've definitely gotten into the second one big time. But it definitely doesn't seem like it was the same as the first one, So, I don't know. It's an interesting thought for them to decide to do this. So yeah. I mean, can you imagine, like, it's amazing to me that StarCraft came out in 1998. That's makes you feel old.
Yeah.
That's a long time ago. So yeah, so I don't know. So again, it's a rumor.
There's an event in September, so if it's going to happen, we'll find out at the end of September.
Yeah.
There's been a Metroid 2 fan remake was released. Apparently I think it's Metroid's 30th anniversary or something, or 20th I want to say 30th anniversary. And Nintendo. Is it 30th or 25? I don't know. There's some anniversary and people are all like upset that Nintendo isn't doing something. And anyway, this fan remake of Metroid 2, which came out
the Series
on
30th
Game Boy, was just released and promptly taken down by Nintendo.
No kidding.
When I posted this story, Series 30th birthday, like you said. If you saw the story when it was on the Facebook page, you might have nabbed it already. This is for PC, obviously. I may or may not have nabbed it. Unfortunately, it's been shut down. It's apparently a pretty awesome remake.
That's too bad. Because, like, clearly, Nintendo's doing jack shit with Metroid right now. Like, why not let somebody else that loves it do something up with it? Like,
yeah,
it's so frustrating. I understand why, but still.
Oh, but we have Metroid Federation Force coming. Oh, beer.
Oh, yeah. We're so excited about that.
I know, Metroid's something I've been freaking dying for. Oh, well. Speaking of Nintendo, apparently the NX is going to have like a dream lineup next year, along with the Zelda. Within the next 6 months to a year, we're going to have a Mario and a Pokemon on the NX. Which, if true, kind of makes sense and can be super awesome because, honestly, there hasn't been a Mario and not a main game Pokemon game on the Wii U. There's literally been nothing on Wii U for, I think Splatoon was the last quality game. And
yeah, that was like, a while ago. That was like May.
That's over a year ago now.
That was really that long ago?
That was last year, dude.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. That was before, like, that was summer of last year.
The Wii U's been dead for a while, so this,
Oh, we got Star Fox.
Yeah, the NX is slated in March next year, and we talked about how potentially there's going to be an event next month. I'm excited for the NX. I can't wait. And that's just more good news. And honestly, with the amount of time they've had, there pretty much is no excuse for a killer lineup.
I am so cautiously optimistic about the NX.
Yeah. Well, I'm buying one regardless for the new Zelda. So the price of admission is justified right off the bat for that. So
see, for me, that's hard because I already own a Wii U. It's like,
well, that's it. If you want to play it on the Wii U, I want to play it on the road. I want to play it handheld, especially with seeing how handy my 3DS has been lately for complementing my game time when I can't sit down or get away from my adult responsibilities.
Yeah, fair enough.
Our good friend Patrick Klepek broke another big story before the actual invites have gone out now, but this was a few days ago. I, again, posted on the site. You would have seen this on our feeds around the net if you were paying attention. That
interwebs.
That the Sony is set to reveal the upgraded PlayStation 4 in September. And yeah, he knocked it out of the park because invitations went out, I think, yesterday to media for an event they're having at the PlayStation Theater in New York.
Not saying what's happening there,
no.
Just that it's an event.
Yeah, there's an event. And then there was some craziness that went on GAF, actually. I did not link this because it's craziness. There's a couple patents, nondescript patents that were filed by Sony and are on the wraps, and NeoGAF exploded thinking that potentially there's going to be an updated Vita.
What?
I know.
Don't be ridiculous.
I know.
They've killed the Vita. They've left it out.
I know, that sounds crazy. It sounds crazy.
Like, especially considering I don't think, what was besides Gravity Rush, I don't think they've...
There's been lots of Vita games that have come out.
Oh yeah, but I'm talking about Sony first party. I don't think they've released a Vita game in a long time, and I almost think I would honestly have to find it, but I swear they announced at some point that they were no longer actually building Vita games first party.
Yeah.
So
It'd be interesting. That's a crazy stretch. So we're gonna find out about the new PlayStation most likely. Here's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping they went back to the drawing board because of Scorpio and bumped up the specs on this thing, and that it can play games at 4K. And if this can play fake games at 4K, then I'm gonna get a 4K TV. And
man, everybody's on this 4K bandwagon.
I don't want a 4K
don't
TV.
see it yet.
I don't want a 4K TV until my games can be 4K. But if this thing can do it,
no matter what anybody tells me, I think it's going to be like the PS4 being able to play 1080p games. I don't think it's going to be
the
there.
Xbox One S. 4K video streaming services, HDR, and like you said, everything's going to be 1080p 60 at this point, as opposed to sub 1080 with trickery just to get it up to 1080p 30 frames per second.
I do not think like that they're going to be able to build a console with current stuff. Like you look at I was literally just before we started this podcast, I was looking at the review of the brand new Titan X. That's a $1,200-$1,500 video card.
Yeah.
And it's barely able to push proper 4K games at like between 30 and 60 frames a second all the time.
There's a few that it can do pretty easily.
Oh yeah, for sure.
There's a couple benchmarks in there where it was like above 80 at 4K, and I'm like,
totally,
that's getting there.
Yes, but it's also $1,500.
Yes.
This is my point. You're not putting a $1,500 video card in your $300 console.
What that tells me is that the next gen of video cards is the one that's going to be doing 4K 60. Like the next iteration.
Except that they're going to be in the like
They'll be $500 to $800. Yep.
Yes.
But that's
so you're
more. That's
2 generations away from it being mainstream.
Yeah, but
where people are actually
mainstream.
Able to afford
I'm balling out of control.
Yeah, I know. You might be, but I'm talking about
no, absolutely.
The fact that
it's still like like you said, you nailed it right on the head. It's 2 generations away before 4K 60 is literally. And you know what? If the Neo comes out this fall and it is the mid step and the Scorpio leapfrogs it, that's where the next Sony upgrade 2 years from now or 3 years from now, that's the 4K box. Because even with Scorpio coming down the road, I think Sony has too much of a lead for anyone to care about a more powerful Xbox.
Yeah, I mean, at that, and I think that by announcing a more powerful Xbox right now...
Because if everyone has 1080p 60, which is pretty goddamn good, what's 4K 30 frames per second? Yeah, it's more resolution, but the jump from 1080p to 4K is not... it's not the same as the SD to HD jump.
It's not going from your PS2 to your PS3.
It's not as dramatic. So
no, it's definitely nicer. Don't get me wrong. It's a thing, but yeah, it's not nearly as big a thing as people I think imagine it is.
We'll see. We'll find out in September, and apparently we're going to find out about the NX soon at PAX. Like I said. I'm just making that up because I hope it happens. It's not gonna happen, but
I was really hoping that they were going to have announced this new Sony console and I was going to get to see it at PAX already.
Yeah, that's true. So that's not gonna happen. Yeah, that's kind of
so
lame.
I'm kind of disappointed now.
That is kind of lame.
Damn it. Oh well. I think that's all for news, hey?
That is all, my friend. We can move into the free-for-all, where we usually talk about...
Freeing for alling.
Gadgets, movies, TV. I don't have any new gadgets. But we have been watching some TV.
Yeah, we have.
We finished up The Preacher, season 1.
All right. Overall, now that you've watched the whole season, what were your feelings on Preacher season 1?
It's still fucked. It's a weird show. I really like Jesse, and I really want to know what's going on with him and his power and what's going on.
Okay.
This is a weird show. I still like it, but at the same time, I'm kind of like, I don't know. It's not like the love I have for like Stranger Things where it's like, this is amazing. But it was different. I got to binge watch that as opposed to I had to watch this week by week.
Right.
I do like The Preacher, but it's gory, it's violent, it's very different. It's not for the faint of heart. The season finale was very interesting.
Oh, it was awesome.
It was pretty awesome. Some effed up shit happened. I will watch. Yeah. I'll watch season 2. I don't know if my wife's going to watch it. It sounds like she might be done with it.
Interesting. See, that's interesting to me because like my wife, I kind of drug her through Stranger Things and she enjoyed it, but definitely not to the extent that I did. We finished watching Preacher and she was very excited for season 2 of Preacher.
It's kind of hard to talk about the season finale.
I know.
Because with what has happened, I think now the real show is going to start. It's almost like season 1 was this is just the intro for what these characters are capable of doing, what they've done, what their motivation is, why they're angry, why they're upset, why they're the way they are. Yeah. So it was essentially really a lot of character building.
It was an origin story.
It was it was a season-long origin story for the trio of characters of what Preacher is really about, I think. And it's going to be interesting to see season 2. So there's a lot of red herrings. In this series, like in this show of stuff you think that's going to happen or that matters, and it's like when the season finale happens, it's like, okay, yeah, how about that?
That's some shit that just happened.
Yep, that happened.
Yeah. No, I loved it. That show is awesome, and I cannot wait for season 2. It is messed up and great and twisted in all the right ways for me. I don't know. It tickles that weirdness bone inside my brain it's so out there and so messed up and yet in all the right ways. And it just, I don't know.
And the main characters are awesome. Like, yeah, I really like the main characters. And like I said,
Jesse Custer.
He's
awesome.
It was a town of people I hate.
Yeah. There's not really anybody that's like nice.
No,
in that show.
It's
like the people that you actually end up thinking like, oh, well, at least that person's nice. She, she or he is, a decent human being. And then some shit goes down and you're like, whoa, I did not see that coming. Mm-hmm. What the hell was that? Where did that come from? Why did you do that to that person? Like, and there didn't seem to be any rhyme or reason. It just, that's a thing that happened. And yeah, I don't know. Good stuff. Good TV. Liked it a lot. Big fan. Looking forward to the second one already.
Yeah, it's got, it appears to have decent amount of views. I'm just looking at the wiki, like, per episodes. I'm excited for season 2 for sure. There was a huge cliffhanger. There was some huge resolution. There were some huge, like, questions opening.
Oh man, did they ever.
It is a really entertaining show, but like I said, if violence and swear words and if you're
if you're easily offended religiously, not a show for you.
The slightest. It is, they don't care. It's very dark, black comedy. It's
for
horror,
sure.
Supernatural, super violent, gory. And we talked about this before.
Oh yeah.
I like it. I think my wife's done because it's just too much for her. It's really, it is really aimed squarely at like hardcore comic book fans.
Yeah, I'm all for it.
No, it's good. I liked how it wrapped up. I stuck with it. I always wanted to know what was going to happen next.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that definitely. They did a great job of that, and they left the season with me wondering,
and there was some really cool
things are going to end.
There was some cool, like, because I've never read the books, so there was some cool resolution or revelations about characters that you had seen, or storylines in the first season. I'm like, now that makes freaking sense. I kind of had my suspicion about what was going on with this guy. bang, now that makes absolute sense.
Yep. Oh yeah, for sure. Very cool though. Very cool. I don't know. I really liked it.
No, it is a neat show. It's hard. We don't want to go into specifics. Like if we were a Preacher podcast, then we can go break it down episode to episode. People are watching it. If you haven't watched it yet, there's stuff to spoil. Part of it is the events that unfold and the impact of what happens. So to go into finer details on some of the stuff, we'll just ruin it, and it'll be like you won't get the same payday as
not at all. Not at all. You got to watch it, and you got to have that spoiler, if you will,
and just the
for yourself.
Just the warning that if you get offended easily, it's not for you. But yeah,
probably
it was cool.
Not for you.
I'd say it's pretty good for our fans. I'm pretty sure they will enjoy it.
Fair enough.
A new show I discovered.
Yes.
My wife is not so into it. I don't know how, or I think I saw someone on Twitter talking about it. It's the HBO series called The Night Of.
Is this a zombie show?
No. It's an 8-part series, apparently. Starring John Turturro. He's a lawyer, New York lawyer. And basically, it's a story of a character, Nasir Khan, or his name is Nas. And he's like a good college kid. I want to say he's Pakistani, is what he is. But everyone thinks he's a freaking Arab, right? It's like plays on the American ignorance of, those types of immigrants. Basically, there's not really spoilers because I gotta set up the story. It's like a crime. Apparently it's based on a BBC series called Criminal Justice.
Oh, interesting.
And it's a story about a New York murder case where Nas's night kind of spins out of control, and next scene he's in jail for murder. And all the evidence points towards him doing it. But, he blacks out, he wakes up, the girl he's with is dead. And it's a very weird, he was going to go meet some guy, he's tutoring, the star bat. This is how good a kid he is. He's tutoring the star basketball players so they don't get kicked out of school. He's a good kid from a hardworking family. His dad's a cab driver. And, he wakes up, blacked out. And he's like, oh man, I gotta get out of here. It's crazy partying with this girl that he randomly meets. And, as he goes up there to leave, he finds her dead. So he panics. He sees a knife and he grabs it because he figures, what the hell? He doesn't know what happened. He knows he didn't do it, but he panics. He grabs the knife.
Now he looks like he super did it.
He tries to leave, and then someone sees him because he left the freaking keys inside the house. Well,
jeez.
The freaking girl's dead. He's got to break into the house to get his keys. Someone calls the cops. He makes an illegal turn. The cops pull him over for something totally random, and then they end up figuring out, it's like, shit, dude, we've got, suspect here.
You're a suspect. Numero
uno. And it's just really dark and grimy, and it just shows the shitty, all shitty sides of this system. Is he a victim? We don't know, but it looks like he is a victim, right? Because it looks like he's innocent.
Right.
But is he innocent? Because he blacked out and the show doesn't show us. There's some quote, some stuff that happens that kind of alludes to maybe someone else did the crime, potentially.
But it also alludes that maybe he in fact did.
Yeah. All the evidence says he did, but the detective that's, trying, building the case against him, he's got the murder weapon on him when they pulled him over and found him, and there's blood on the cab and there's blood on him. Now it's his blood at the scene and so forth. It's moving to trial. It goes into how the lawyers just the whole lawyer thing, how his family's gotten screwed over by this because the cab's an impound. His dad can't work. His dad shares the cab with a couple other guys. Their livelihood is ruined. Like all the side effects of like, you know, whether the story is true or not, say you just got arrested one day and you were totally innocent. How it would like affect you, your family, how the system just throws you in and you're just guilty, right? It's not a feel good freaking show. It kind of just shows you how shitty the whole system is.
Interesting.
And almost like how it, if convicted, it's against you from the get-go. And now the poor guy is a good kid in freaking Rikers Island, hardcore prison in New York, having to deal with the shit on the inside. And of course, everyone on the inside thinks he did it because, you know, they have TV, it's on the news.
Not only that, but no, everybody's innocent on the inside. Look, man, I'm in here for something I didn't do, right?
Yeah, but, it's like, you know, and they don't like him because he's some people have beef with him in prison. He's getting accustomed to the whole prison life thing because, you know, he murdered a girl and the news says he raped and murdered her. So they don't like rapists in prison. You know, and it really fucking sucks.
Wow. Sounds like an interesting show. It sounds like it would be something right up my alley, actually.
It is. I'm enjoying it, but it is not like I said, it's not a feel good show at all. Like it's really like just crappy and it kind of hits home a little bit with the U.S. criminal prison system and how that all, for someone not, I'm not a criminal. I've been arrested before. I don't know if I've ever said that before. I've been arrested before. You know, when I was a kid, screwing around, shoplifting, whatever. Not a big deal. I've never been to hardcore prison. I've never been convicted of hardcore crimes. I was an idiot teenager doing stupid shit like teenagers do, right? But never really a hardcore bad kid, right?
Yeah.
You know, this is one of those things. You know, the equivalent to being thrown in the drunk tank. Many people are accustomed to that from their teenage college years, right? So I don't know how close this is to real prison. You know, they're getting beat up in the showers and the guys trying to freaking shank you and this and that stuff. Is that true? Is it glorified? Is it exaggerated? I don't know.
I mean, I'm sure part of it is, right? It's TV.
You know, enough of it.
I don't know, but at the same time, I'm sure that there's quite a bit of that shit that does happen.
Yeah, some of it happens, or is it, you know, like exaggerated for effect?
Which, I mean, I'm sure it is, because, you know, TV.
This show, you just feel bad for this kid, because he was just doing good, working hard, and doing right by his family. And then he just, you know, out of the blue, his night turns upside down. Now, I don't know if it's going to wrap up in the next... There's 5 episodes out. I don't know if it's going to completely wrap up in the next episodes, or if there's going to be...
Right, because there's only going to be 8 episodes.
Or if there's going to be
a short miniseries.
Or if there's going to be a season 2. I really don't know. But, yeah. It's on Sunday nights, on HBO.
It's like their summer slots or whatever kind of an idea.
And I discovered it like really late because I had like all 5 episodes to watch. I'm enjoying it. It's my show to watch. My wife doesn't really like it because I think it's depressing. It's really depressing. Like it's not cool.
My wife has a similar thing where
it's the gritty, shitty side of like New York, you know,
right?
Or America, but specifically the big cold concrete jungle. It has
which can really be anywhere.
And the way it's filmed and shot, it's not filmed in a way like your law dramas to be entertaining. There's lots of silences and it has that realistic, you know, weight in the air with interaction of people and the environments. Do you know what I mean?
I really like it when they shoot stuff like that.
Yeah, like it's not shot like just a, you know, your typical
crime drama.
Yeah, it's not that. It's, you know, there's a little bit of humor, but it's humor in between pockets of really heavy content, right?
Oh, for sure.
It's cool.
I really like that.
It's a cool show. I like it.
Sometimes silence in stuff like that can be so impactful, you know, because it's just sort of letting some of that stuff sink in. And I don't know, I really like it when they do stuff like that, when it's done well.
Yeah. Did we?
Like True Detectives had that, you know, like it was that there was those moments where like shit's going crazy and then all of a sudden you're just, nobody's talking, nobody's saying anything. There's no music. It's just kind of letting you
You're talking season 1 or season 2?
I never watched season 2. I'm talking season 1.
Yeah. It kind of has a vibe like that, I would say, except minus the weird supernatural shit that was happening, because it's more based in reality, and it's modern times, right? Like it's like as if it happened today,
right?
It's really cool. I really like how it just shows how it affects everyone, from the cops that picked him up to the first responders to the cops that showed up to the scene to the guy, the head detective, just, you know, wanting to wrap this up and move on to the next. Who doesn't, you know, he's a good kid, but, you know, he's like, oh, I've seen this before. You know, he doesn't rule out that it isn't him. To him, it's like, I've seen good kids do this before. To his, like I said, his family and so forth, and how upside down your life just essentially gets turned.
Wow.
Yeah, it's cool. It's a cool show. Just check it out.
Check it out, yeah.
If you have HBO, I caught up on demand, and now I'm caught up with the live, so now I have to watch it week by week, which is kind of lame. But it is a really heavy show. I don't know if you can really freaking steamroll through this, just because of the type of content.
Fair enough.
Not
watch
fun,
an episode or two here and
happy-go-lucky
there.
stuff. But it's good TV. It's a good show. With that being said, dude, I'm gonna say we have a show.
Yeah,
we're running kind of late. We threw out the question feelers kind of, I don't know, I guess a little late for all the lazy asses out there. Just kidding. Just kidding.
I'm not lazy asses.
We'll work on trying to get some for next week. Then again, who knows? Gamescom will be next week. We'll probably actually have a packed
buttload of news and all kinds of good stuff.
Maybe, hopefully, I can watch Suicide Squad or something.
Ooh, yeah. I need to see that this weekend.
It's kind of hard, because if I go to the movie theater, my wife's at home, and then she's not.
That's difficult.
It's not really fair.
That's true.
You can catch me on Twitter at RickF, no K, RICF.
As per usual, you can hit me up on Twitter at Dane Cody, at DAYNECODY.
Make sure to like us on Facebook, review us on iTunes, share us with your friends. And as always, we love you and thank you for listening. Until next week, I'm going to say we are out.
To infinity and beyond.
Peace.